Have you been thinking about the new year? I know it's already February, but a lot of you may have been setting some goals. Maybe one of your goals this year is to be maybe a little bit smarter with money. Did you know that Harry's can save you about $100 a year if you are a regular shaver? Now, I've been using Harry's razors for a long time. I really like how close and comfortable a shave I get when I use Harry's razors. And I think it's because the founders of Harry's know that a great shave doesn't come from gimmicks like a vibrating head or a flex ball or handles that look like a spaceship. In fact, I really like the handles that Harry's have. They're ergonomically fit into my hand. They've got the no-slip grip, so it doesn't slip and go flying out of my hand, whether I'm in the shower or at the sink. And listen, if you are really trying to save money in the new year, they've combined simple, clean design and quality with durable blades at a very fair price. Many of you already know that Harry's bought a world-class blade factory in Germany that's been making quality blades for 95 years. And because they own that factory, Harry's replacement cartridges are just $2 a piece. That's about half the price off the leading brand. 100% quality guaranteed. If you don't love your shave, you let them know and they will give you a full refund. Harry's wants you to have a really fantastic 2019. So they created a trial offer just for you. You can claim yours by going to harrys.com/critical hit. You get a $13 value trial set that comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave. You get that weighted ergonomic handle that I was just talking about, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade, the rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. You don't have to roll the dice and hope that you get a critical hit. All you need to do is go to harrys.com/critical hit to redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you to help support this show. Again, harrys.com/critical hit. Redeem your offer. And thank you, Harry's, for supporting this episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking out our Real Play podcast once again this week. Well, we got a lot of things off our chests last time.
On Critical Hit.
And now we will continue with the rest of the story.
But first, the Bose Wave Radio.
Rodrigo, if you would please lead on and take us to new heights, because we're, on a mountain.
Yeah, climbing up a mountain. Yeah. The night goes on uneventfully, and after that last shift, you can all get up and start breaking camp.
Okay. We will break the camp.
Okay.
You get a ration, and you get a ration, and you get a ration, and you get a ration.
And then once you're all ready to go, Lileron will lead you down the path.
All right. We'll follow, making sure to step where he steps.
Yeah. I mean, there is some leeway, but it does get kind of narrow, especially as you get farther and farther up the mountain. So you guys travel for a good long while, the majority of the day, until finally you arrive at a sort of like craggy area of the mountain, and he stops sort of at these rocks that just kind of, these like broken up rocks on top of each other, and he says, well, the path ends here, but I don't think anything's going to cause any problems because we're too close to where Great Tiger usually sits. So most creatures in the island tend to avoid him. So if you continue to climb up these rocks, you will find another path, and then you will find the Tree of Ages, which is where he is usually found at this time of day.
You're not coming with us?
I am not. I've spoken to him on a couple of occasions, and he is not the most patient of people when I've brought up some of the issues that I've brought up. So I prefer not to deal with them directly, if at all possible.
Very well. Will you still be here when we're done then?
Yeah, I will wait for you here.
Thank you.
Of course. Good luck.
Thank you. What was the name of your settlement?
It doesn't really have a name. It's just the fort on the southern beach.
Wasn't sure how to refer to it.
Yeah. So
Shall
you
we?
guys, you guys head off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys climb up some rocks, and sure enough, you find a path. Here, the vegetation is a lot scrubbier. There aren't as many big trees, although there are a few. And you follow the path around the mountain, and it eventually leads you to this area that has lots of sort of it's very rocky. There's like big chunks of rock around, but essentially it forms this sort of natural circular area, and growing out of the center of this area is a tree, and it's a tree that's very different from the ones that you've been around. The ones that you have seen, the majority in this island, there's a lot of sort of like conifer type trees and also like big redwood type trees. This one is different. It is smaller. It's not as big and tall, and in fact grows in sort of a crooked way. The trunk comes out of the ground and then immediately sort of snakes to the left and the right, and then there are multiple branches. The branches have lots and lots of these like big, broad leaves, and the branches themselves also snake around. And it becomes apparent that sort of all of these snaking branches do sort of form kind of a central area from which the trunk spawns them. And as the sun is setting, you can see that sitting in this kind of natural throne that the tree builds is a figure, but the sun is behind him and the leaves are dark. So it is very difficult to see other than a vaguely humanoid shape, except, of course, for the pair of yellow glowing eyes that look back at you from the tree.
Hello?
Sparkle will step forward. Greetings, Great Tiger.
Greetings, travelers. What brings you to my tree?
We have come to both ask for and offer assistance.
What is it? What is it that you ask for?
We are emissaries of Arathis and would ask you to sign the new tree of gods, her version of it.
And what do you ask for?
Well,
or what do you offer?
Yes, assistance in against Asmodeus, who is laying siege to your shores.
I see. And who are you?
My name is Mayor Ludel Newroost, and these are my companions: Orm Rivendorn, Ket Hazard, Sakar Oblea, and Randus Suthane.
Hi.
And what is your stake in this?
We enjoy the way that time currently works and wish to see it remain intact.
I see. And what exactly do you need from me?
Your signature on this treaty, or some pledge from you that when negotiations resume, that you will back Arathis's version.
So you talk about time, but what is it to you? If you know that if time breaks down, it won't affect you directly.
How do you mean?
I mean, it's not going to harm you. It's not going to kill you if your time becomes separate from others, from the time of others.
Yes, but it would make it difficult to be with people we care about, because if we left them for any period of time, when we returned, it would be impossible to tell how much time would have passed.
So you are attempting to do this for the people you care about?
And the people they care about.
And people we
And
don't
so
care about.
forth.
Yeah, predominantly for the well-being of all.
We also are at longtime enemies of, well, I'm not, honestly. Though everything I've seen of him so far has been pretty unimpressive on the sense of me wanting to have anything to do with him. Enemies of Asmodeus, who seems to want to reshape the rules of the universe in his own favor.
Asmodeus is a plague. But my main concern is you and why you care to do this. Since these are the envoys that are here, surely there must be something to them. And you say this is for, what, everyday people? So they don't have to worry and suffer?
Yes,
Hmm.
for a greater good.
Is that what it is? Do you lift your head from your bed in the morning and think about the greater good?
Well, I can't speak for my compatriots, but to some degree I do, yes.
And what is the greater good to you?
I think in this case, as terrible as it sounds, it's clear that Asmodeus is a greater evil. I was raised with an expectation of inferred responsibility to those less privileged than myself. Whatever Asmodeus is planning is clearly calamitous. So I don't necessarily know what the greater good is, but I know that he is not it.
So you see this as your responsibility?
There's an element of that to it, yes.
Yeah. Looks at Ket. What about you?
I don't believe a universe which has Asmodeus in charge is a good thing.
He looks at Randus and you.
Well, I guess, yeah, I have concerns about Asmodeus having influence over the cosmos and manipulating it to his whims, and I'm afraid of the tyranny he would inflict on the world, the cosmos.
He, like, the eyes turn to Orem.
I don't like to see good people hurt by other people's bad intentions. And I think Asmodeus has a lot of bad intentions. And I think a council of good, wise gods can keep everything in check.
I see. Very well. I will join your council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any suggestions or insight on how we can best help with the invaders to your land?
I can't imagine that an invasion force would have any success trying to incur into this island.
Well, they seem to be held at bay pretty well.
Then why do you think they are here?
Well, I don't think that they wouldn't try.
Just that they wouldn't succeed.
Is there? You said you spoke of Asmodeus as if you were somewhat intimately aware of him. Is there anything you could tell us of his plans? Why he would target your island particularly?
I suppose. I'm sure he sees me as a threat because I can see into anyone's soul and tell whether they are telling the truth. It is a power that is antithetical to Asmodeus.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I suppose I should congratulate you on being mostly honest.
Just mostly.
There was a bit of, as one might say, kissing up, but I'm inclined to look past it.
Thank
And
you.
that we appreciate.
So it is my thought that if Asmodeus' little incursion manages to make it here, then let them. If you specifically want to help the elves on the beach, then you are certainly welcome to it. But all creatures of bone and flesh and sinew, they are there to test themselves against each other. And if the elves do not survive, then they don't survive.
Okay.
They can live on this island as long as they can live on this island.
Understood.
Is there anything else?
Do you have any advice for us as we move forward, perhaps?
Any advice?
And maybe dealing with some of the other gods?
Are there any gods that you would have once called ally or friend?
Or that you think would share similar views as you and be likely to join our cause against Asmodeus?
Because of me? No. I am very insular. I do not spend a lot of time socializing with anyone. But I know that Asmodeus is not always well liked, and the people that are likely to hate him the most are the ones that you would expect would be his closer allies. Look to gods that have much to lose from there being a large, powerful boss god, I suppose. That is not them. Who is likely to be jealous of Asmodeus? It is those sickly feelings that weaken gods and allow them to be manipulated. Who has something to lose from tyranny? And who has something to lose if the tyrant is someone else?
Thank you.
Yes.
You've given me some ideas.
Is there anything else?
What would the best way to contact you be when the new treaty is ready?
I suppose you can send an envoy of some sort. I would recommend something that can fly so that it wouldn't have to make it through the island.
That can be arranged. Thank you.
Thank you. Bow and back up.
Okay.
Bow as well.
Follow suit.
All right. You guys beat it out of there?
Yep.
We stride pridefully in a manner that we hope will not look like we're beating it out of there.
Okay.
Or at least I do. I don't know. I don't speak for everyone, so.
Look purposeful and not that scared.
Exactly.
All right. So you guys make it back down the rocks where your guide is waiting. And I'm going to guess Stabums too.
Oh, yeah. We did not bring stabs.
Oh, we are so mean to Stabums. Oh well. We'll get over it.
I blame Orem.
Why me?
You're the one who decided it was necessary to bring him.
Why not you? All right. So we've returned.
Yeah. So as you guys are walking up, you hear Stabums being like, and I stabbed it and I stabbed it and it just wouldn't die.
Wanted a story from Stabums. Oh, good times.
Well, you two seem to be getting along.
Yes. It's surprising who you can meet and who you can get along with once you've been around for a while.
Oh, yes. Well,
I've come to find it more surprising who I don't get along with.
There is that too.
we've concluded.
How did it go?
It went very well. The Great Tiger has decided to join our side.
I would
Yes.
say that it's probably the easiest of any of these decisions thus far.
Well,
Cord,
Which
it was going to be fast no matter what. He can pretty much see through you. So if you were all lying, he would have probably killed you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Interesting.
glad that it went well then.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, we can head back. He, as I'm guessing you won't find surprising, will not be offering any assistance to your people, but also won't interfere if we help. So we can offer what assistance we can.
Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, I've had some interactions with him, and his philosophy is pretty clear. So that is part of the reason why I didn't want to influence your meeting with him, since we've had some tense interactions.
Understandable.
I can't imagine interacting with him not being tense.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see a pleasant interaction between Great Tiger and someone else. Maybe that would be the scariest thing of all.
Agreed. Knowing relaxed would be more terrifying.
Well, it's going to take us a while to get down the mountain, so we might as well get going.
Indeed.
All right.
All right, so you guys
Yeah.
travel for a while, and is there anything you guys want to do while you travel?
More stories.
We could sing a traveling song.
Find out what
Well,
resources
climbing
the
down
elf village
the
has
path
so
of
Randus can
life.
start concocting a plan.
Yes.
Well, he will definitely volunteer that there is heck of wood around.
Mm. The wood of the Hecka tree is strong.
Yes.
And as well as lots of like natural things like resins and things that you might not immediately think about, but it's like you can build machines entirely out of wood. But they do have some steel, they have some iron as well. When you were at the fort, you saw plenty of steel weapons, so they're not entirely without metal. It's just not as plentiful as wood. If you were going to build a trebuchet or something, there's lots of big rocks around. You can certainly treat some sap to make rubber, or there might even be some enormous beast tendons from whatever enormous beast was last haunted around.
Neat.
That you can use as big old rubber bands.
Sweet.
Is cold iron of any particular use against the people who are sieging the island? Or am I just thinking
No,
of different?
cold iron is usually a fey thing.
Yeah.
You should poke Orem with it.
Yeah.
No, you
See
should not.
how he likes it.
Yeah, let me poke you with a wooden dagger in your heart and see how you like it.
I will point out. I will point out that Orem wore a cold iron,
And it hurt.
Yeah, Orem wore a cold iron pendant for like a full year. So, I know that he still looks like a little prince, but Orem is about the most rugged Eladrin that you guys have come across. Like
That
this is a guy who just had like a vial of like acid slowly leaking down his chest all day long, basically.
Yeah,
It's metal.
it's impressive. It's like that moment when Chidi takes off his sweater vest and you realize he's ripped. Orem is like that.
Yep.
There's so many moments like that in television. Like I definitely feel like that happened in The Wire with Lance Reddick. And so it was just like, holy cow.
Yep.
You are jacked.
He looks like the Little Prince, but he's built kind of like Randy Orton under there.
Or I'm hand you a drawing of a snake that swallowed an elephant.
Yep.
What?
Come on, if you're going to make a Little Prince reference, you better know the Little Prince.
Yeah,
It's a guardian. It's his guardian form. He hands you a picture of a. He has a picture of a barn and tells you that Little Sparkle is hiding behind it.
What you really have to watch out for are the trees.
Yep.
They will take over your whole planet.
Yep.
Looks like a hat.
Wow. And that, my friends, is a reference battle which I am definitely going to lose.
We've done it.
4 in the history of
Yeah,
Critical Hit.
seriously, go read The Little Prince. It'll take you 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's very short, very sad.
Yeah.
So,
I've had enough sad stories tonight.
All right. We will say that you guys make it back down the mountain. Some more stories are shared. You guys hear about that time that Stabums thought he ate a rat, but he didn't.
cool.
Did he eat?
Story.
Huh?
Did he
Well-
eat something that wasn't a rat?
He's not. The story is not very clear.
But we know that he thought it was a rat.
He thought it was a rat, and then it turns out that it wasn't a rat. But what exactly it was and whether he actually did eat it is actually not very clear.
And I'm not sure you want to ask questions on a Stabum story.
Seriously. Or especially one that involves his dietary preferences.
I 100% want to ask questions on that Stabum story.
Yeah, it's
I want to
difficult.
avoid becoming any of his dietary preferences.
Does he
Yeah,
have,
it's difficult to kind of keep him on
Focused.
topic. Yeah, unfortunately.
does he have a story about how he nearly killed a man who dressed as a bat by throwing a rock at him?
Yes, but by the end of this episode, he will reveal that he is, in fact, actually Batman.
Yes.
It was a big rock.
Yeah, big rock.
Oh, man. One of the best 20 minutes in television.
Yes.
Yeah,
Almost got him.
almost got him.
The
The
Catwoman
original,
part on that is so good.
So yeah, you guys make it back down to the fort, still, under siege. But yep, you guys make it back. You're like super tired. You really kind of push it. Like going down the mountain's a little easier. And because of that, you guys ended up kind of traveling a little bit longer. So, you actually traveled into the night. So you're probably pretty tired by the time you get to the fort, and everything seems to be under control with just like the odd exchange of mortars, by which I mean, psychic blasts and arrows.
Well, then let's bunk down and we'll begin building siege weaponry in the morning.
I might have some ideas on that.
All right. Well, you guys go to sleep. And again, apart from the odd blast here and there, the night passes uneventfully. And unless you guys want to switch something, I'll just assume that you have the same preparations that you left with.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Yep.
If someone approaches, Stabums should wake us.
Oh, I meant like your modes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your alt modes.
Edna.
Yay, I still have a bonus to the twig.
Yes. It's still enchanted.
All right. So you guys all wake up. What is the plan?
An A-team montage is what I understand.
Yes,
Dun, dun, dun. You had some ideas, Kat?
I have some ideas. So every creature on this island, other than the elves here, is basically the deadliest possible thing it could be, right? Maybe even these elves here are probably simply the deadliest possible elves they can be.
God, it's Australia.
I'm correct in this assumption, right? Like that's the general
that
vibe we've been getting.
Certainly seem to be the ethos of Great Tiger. Whether that's actually the case is hard to say.
So, two different ideas.
Mhm.
Brandis,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able to teleport something onto the boats?
Could be difficult. I mean, back during the whole war in the middle continent, there, that I did come up with a bit of a teleportation rig. That was kind of point to point, but I don't know if we'd have the crystals here to make that happen.
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right. What if then we fall back and let them take the shore?
And then they'll be cut to ribbons by the island's natural defenses.
Maybe.
Precisely.
It's actually not a bad idea if the elves are
That's-
amenable, depending on how much of their settlement is here. We could just try to lead a controlled evacuation.
Or perhaps a controlled evacuation into an ambush.
Yeah, some sort of pincer thing.
Yeah, maybe some way to envelop them.
I mean, it seems like the best resource we have is
The
the
island.
deadliness of the island.
Yes. Yeah, why don't we talk a little bit more with Lilaron and see what his input is. He knows the island far better than we do.
I think we might have to think of a way to carrot that stick.
Yes. I mean, if it's possible that they simply won't agree to that, and then we can try to build some weaponry that would assist with their defense. But the advantage to the evacuation plan is that hopefully it won't be as dangerous to the people who are currently fighting.
Right.
Mhm.
Could we evacuate the island itself?
Until
To
what?
where?
And why?
Well, because I can't imagine living here being
They
a
seem to
terribly
like it.
blessed experience.
They seem to like it.
Yeah, it's home. But again, we can ask them. I mean, we certainly know a utopia under construction and searching for residents, but I don't know that it's
Would
possible
appeal.
that they like testing themselves here.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
that would make sense.
that would be a good place to send refugees, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't have to ask Zarza for permission.
Yeah, I think the Bronze Prince would be thrilled to have people come to him.
Well, let's talk to Lilaron.
Yes.
You find Lilaron kind of overseeing some supply allocation.
We wanted to talk potential strategies with you.
Okay.
How many elves are here?
The whole band is probably about 350.
And how permanent is this settlement?
This settlement, not very permanent. There are multiple places in the island where the band moves to.
We had considered if it might be best for this band to move to an alternate place and then force any invasion force to contend with the perils of the island.
I see. Well, the issue with that is that we have no control over the perils of the island. And if we are, in fact, underestimating our enemies and they do get a foothold once on the island, then we've essentially done that, giving them a foothold in the island. The reason why we started defending this side of the island is precisely because this is the most gentle side of the island. There is a wide beach, and the forest really only gently slopes up. So there is plenty of room here to at the very least, have a landing site.
Very well. Then we'll make our stand here.
Roughly how many attackers do we think we encountered on the way in?
There's probably 5 ships.
What might we guesstimate the crew size on those ships would be? Are they massive or?
No, there's about probably 4 or 5 in each of them. But you guys have been, hit in the mind brain with a blast from those guys, and you know that it's pretty serious.
Hit to death in the future head. Yeah, that's bad. All right.
How long, Lileron, has this been the home for these elves?
At least a good 1,000 years.
That makes that plan less likely to be appealing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you've made a compelling argument for why we should make our stand here. So then I guess the question is how. And I think some forms of heavy artillery is probably in order.
Flaming artillery.
Yeah. We'll use the resin and maybe some wild animal tallow and.
I mean, their boats are made out of. Didn't you say they're reeds or something, Rodrigo?
Yeah, their boats are like woven together.
Yeah, so that's not great. I mean, they're assuredly treated with something to allow them to survive the astral sea, but that something might still be flammable.
Yeah, if we have like some sort of sticky flaming substance, though, I mean, even if it doesn't alight the ship, that would still be problematic for them.
Yeah, they certainly seem flammable.
Yeah.
We can certainly find you flammable materials. There's no shortage of that around. Really, your biggest concern is going to have to be actually hitting these ships since they're so maneuverable. Anything that you launch from here into the sea is going to travel for some amount of time. So
we could try to get closer to them. Perhaps find some place that's where we can, I don't know, sail like around where they're coming from.
Do you have explosives?
Or do you have explosives? That's a good question.
We do, in the sense that this island is full of wood, mulch, dung. So, yes.
We could float a boat out to them. I'm sure they would think we were on board and try to attack, and then when they were close...
Yes, but these are very able... the Gith are very able to attack from a distance.
Yes, they'll probably not get close enough to...
Decoys don't seem...
No, but it's some form of stealth maneuvering, not dissimilar to what we did getting out here.
True. How about something that can scatter? So you know how to make alchemist's fire, right, Randus?
Yeah.
Yeah. We, instead of one big projectile that they can relatively easily dodge, lots and lots of smaller ones.
A hail of smaller ones.
And maybe something that could actually put a flame on top of the astral sea?
Ooh. Is that even possible?
Yeah, I mean, could you create like, I don't know, bombs that would float?
Theory. I mean, if we...
Do you still know how to make those walking bombs?
Yeah.
Could we
teach them how to swim?
Yeah, but it's the astral sea. They'd have to be also like immune to that.
Yeah.
If they're mechanical, would that be an issue?
I mean, a lot of mechanical things don't like being super duper cold, or it makes them stop working.
What kind of material are the boats made out of? Or any of the boats here made out of?
Reedy material.
Reeds.
Even the
You
ones
mean
we
the
travel
gift
on?
ships? Oh, the
Yeah.
boats we travel on are made out of stone, mostly, or metal.
Yeah, do we know what the Gith ships are actually made out of?
Not really.
Mm.
I mean, it's some sort of like, rattan-looking stuff, but other than that, no.
I mean, could you modify that? So stones aren't affected by the astral sea, right?
No, stones are affected by the astral
Starts-
sea. There's just, ships, like astral ships are built specifically to withstand the astral sea. So in as a technical explanation, the astral sea channels, 1,000 gigaelasmas of cold and radiant energy into whatever it touches. So furthermore, if anything sinks past a certain point, it disappears.
We don't know where it goes.
And we don't know where it goes. You know that presumably it goes somewhere, or at least 3 of you know this, because that's the maneuver that Bahamut pulled at the end of the fight. He actually dove into the astral sea and presumably went somewhere else.
Yeah, but that didn't seem to go so well for him in the long term. So
That worked just fine.
I mean, I don't think that was the problem.
I think that
It
was
might
part
not
of the
have
problem.
been. It might not have been, but it's hard to tell.
We can't say that it wasn't. So
as far as can you just float stuff over there, it has to be treated to withstand that. That you guys did slam one of these Gith ships into the shore, and we can say that the elves have since retrieved it. So you can incorporate that into what you're doing.
That's cool.
So we can find out what it is?
You can spend some time figuring out what it is.
Sweet.
I think we should.
I think Randus should.
I think I will help him.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a nature-y thing, then I can try. If it's an arcana-y thing, I can also try.
Okay.
Yeah, but Randus has Arcana.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to go investigate that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm going to define the nature of the thing.
Who all is helping Randus?
I am.
I am not, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
It depends
Instead,
on.
I will try to basically scout the coastline as much as possible and see if there's any good places that we could launch boats from that would be harder for them to be obvious.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Absolutely.
752.
That sounds low.
I
Yeah,
should roll
right.
a 5.
That sounds better.
45.
Holy crap.
Nice.
All right. That is pretty good. So we'll get back to what you find here in a bit. So Randus is gonna look at the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody who wants to help Randus can give me an Arcana check.
Ah. You sure I can't do a nature check?
I am.
37.
Well,
Nice.
Snurp.
Why won't this be trained?
Because it's not. You're not trained.
Yeah, I am trained.
Nope. Not anymore.
Yeah, it seems to have some weird flukes.
39.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah, you don't know how to type in a
hashtag
command.
Slash.
It's a hashtag, baby. 33!
Wow.
Net 20 on an Arcana check.
Nice.
That's the first time I've done anything good arcane in my life.
Okay. So
Provides
that
some-
does, in fact, get an additional +2 to Randus. So Randus can make a roll with a +6.
All right. +6.
Which means that Rand.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't roll
it's not a
1. Yes.
Yay! 53 is my lucky number.
53.
Hooray.
Yes.
All right.
With the
So
+6.
Randus spent some time analyzing what is left of the boat, and it really kind of seems like this is very mundane material. It is some sort of plant fiber. But there's really nothing obvious that you see. It's not coated with anything. There's really nothing that you see that would allow it to necessarily withstand the energy of the astral sea up until Sakaar finds that some of like in the lining of some of it, there are kind of these like crystals that are like woven into it. So Sakaar finds a handful of crystals, and kind of gets into a weird argument with them.
Ooh, sonic
What do you mean?
The crystals have
no,
opinions?
no.
Yeah, when somebody comes over and when maybe Randus or Orem wander over to see what you're doing, you realize that you've been sitting there staring at these things and kind of arguing with someone or with something. And when they snap you out of it, it all kind of goes away. It's not very clear what exactly was happening.
Those are not normal.
What is not normal about them?
I'm almost certain that they're the reason that these ships are immune to the effects of the astral sea, but it's hard to articulate how.
Yeah, they do seem to be emanating some sort of energy.
Well, I should probably check this out. I'll do an Arcana check and see if I can figure out what kind of energies these things are radiating.
Okay.
45. Oh, a nat 20.
There you go.
Jeez.
Nice.
Well, with a nat 20, just by holding one, you immediately realize that it's a sort of energy that you are actually very familiar with.
Let me guess.
It's a lot like talking to a sword.
I was going to say it's a lot like something that's probably in our handy haversacks.
Actually, both of those things are true.
I pull out my sword.
Okay.
You know anything about these crystal things?
No. No, you are. No, you are.
I set the crystal down and pulled the sword aside, out of line of sight from those things. Okay, what's going on?
I don't know. They're talking to me.
And what are they?
I don't know. Some kind of annoying thing.
Okay. What were they saying to you?
I don't know. They were like, no way, man. You're wrong about it.
Wrong about what?
I don't know.
Okay. I put the sword back. Is there anything else that I know about these things?
I mean, you're pretty sure there's some sort of psychic crystal that have some amount of energy imbued into it, and they are literally repellent. They are... They create a field that prevents things from actually making contact with the astral sea, and also they think you're stupid. You big stupid.
Now, let's not start that.
Psychic crystals are the best. It's like, I just imagine them working by being like, no, Astral Sea, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
No, I'm not. You can't even do that, Astral Sea.
Pretty much.
It's almost as if these things need some reverse logic applied to them, or some reverse psychology applied to them. Randus, how would we reverse a field like this?
That's an interesting thought. I don't suppose I came up with anything like that back when I had to deal with Mind Flare Uprising.
We can write that in.
Absolutely.
It seems maybe if you were able to build something that is maybe a beam weapon, you could destabilize those crystals on the ships out in the sea, and they just simply sink into the astral sea, and that would be the end of them.
I was thinking.
What about that device that you built to trace the radiation from the illithids?
God, I just feel like we're playing Exalted here and trying to introduce facts.
I'm not introducing anything that is not established.
That is in fact established. Randus and
That's-
Sakar did fight an illithid.
All right. See, this is why we need more story
This
times.
is why we need stories, exactly.
That's right.
I feel like that's been mentioned.
It has been, yes.
That has happened.
I had no idea.
5 years ago, that happened. That was in the actually, it was a prequel comic that you could only get when you went to the Adventures of Sakar and Randus in the theaters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. The Adventures of Scar and Randus in the theater. Oh, my.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Steven! Godzilla
Oh,
Liker.
my.
What did I tell
Look out! It's John Wilkes Booth.
Really? That's the direction that went?
Yeah, right.
Apparently in Randus's
I thought it was
mind.
going somewhere else.
I was
like that better.
thinking much filthier.
All I know is Sakaar had a fake mustache on. And so did his tail.
Sakar does not have a mustache, and I will hang up.
No,
this
it was a
phone.
fake. It was a fake mustache.
A fake one.
You're a monster.
Rawr.
So, what's the plan?
So Randus is going to analyze these crystals and see if he can build some kind of reverse ray to reverse the polarity.
Yeah, I wonder if I can't, harvest these crystals and use those
Maybe,
as
but don't listen to them. They're wrong.
They are.
the amplifying.
All right, I say we take. Well, I'm not here. Never mind. But
You can
someone
you
should-
can have come back. Basically, you
See a bunch
the
of
amount
nerds
time they've
arguing
spent
on the
doing
beach.
This, you've pretty much mapped the beach.
Mhm.
So that if you guys decide to do anything in particular, you will have the necessary intel. So Little Sparkle can come back now.
Oh, a giant bird just appeared.
Four
What?
guys standing in a circle yelling at crystals.
What's going on?
These crystal gems keep arguing with us.
They are. They're infuriating. It's like talking to a child.
The rocks are talking to you.
Yeah, there's
Similar to
apparently-
my sword and similar to the eggs,
Huh.
they are psychically projecting negative energies to us.
Well, the eggs don't really project negative energy. They try to get you to go somewhere.
Right. See, different energies, all similar energies. Like my sword wants me to kill my friends.
Mhm.
The eggs want us to go somewhere.
I
These
feel
are
like
projecting
we
negative
really need
energies.
to put a pin in that one and come back to it at a later time.
Which one?
The killing of his friends.
It's
it
okay. He
keeps
doesn't have
coming
any
up, and I
friends.
don't.
That's
think
okay. You
we-
guys are okay. You don't
I
have to worry
don't
about
think
it.
that we've addressed it.
You don't have to worry about it. Anyway,
Huh.
Randus, we need to figure out a way to reverse the polarity of these crystals.
Yes.
I'll pull out my egg.
Okay.
I'll
Just
hold on.
the-
to
Hold on,
Sparkle.
Get back here.
I just set it down.
I'll let go of Little Sparkle.
Does it seem to have any reaction to the crystals?
No.
Do the crystals have any reaction to it?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Why don't we? Can someone put one of the crystals near it?
Yeah, you can put one of
Sure.
the crystals on top of it.
Okay. No, still no reaction.
No.
Are they arguing amongst themselves?
Well,
How
not
would
that
we
you can hear.
know?
Touch it and find out.
All right.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sakar
Oh,
grabs
God.
onto the egg.
This
with
was a
little
bad
crystal
idea.
on top.
Yeah, the crystals on top.
Okay.
Crystals
well,
on top.
Sakar starts walking away.
Everyone
knock,
tackles the car.
There he
Yes.
goes.
Knock the egg out of his hands.
Yeah, that's
Bad idea.
probably the best way of going about it.
Yep.
Yep. Sakar comes to 10 feet away from where he was.
Well,
Well,
I guess the egg is much-
still active.
egg is much bigger than the little crystals, so I suppose it
Mhm.
would win in a fight.
That makes about as much sense as anything else.
Mm.
Agreed.
I don't really
This-
understand how magic works. Certainly not psychic crystal magic.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Reverse
But-
psychic crystals.
If it is possible to somehow identify the crystal's, for lack of a better word, signature, might it be possible to, say, deactivate it and watch them all sink into the sea?
Isn't that what I've just been saying for the last 10 minutes?
Is
I didn't
what
hear you say that.
Orm was trying to say.
Reverse
Well,
the
I've said
polarity
it now.
and let them
Yeah.
sink into the sea.
Sounds like a good idea, Sakar.
Thank you. I put a lot of work into that.
Hey, sword.
I mean, sure, that seems sweet. I also found some mapped out the beach. So if we want to try to launch something or hide something, I know some
Let me
places
see.
for it.
I think if Randus can just build a beam weapon, we should just be able to target the ships from shore.
Yeah.
Sure, but they're still really maneuverable, so.
Not for long.
If it's a ray, it gets wider as it goes.
No, that's a cone.
If it's a cone of rays, it gets wider as it goes.
See, now I'm just thinking of up cone, but it's all like stingrays.
If it's a ray,
all I
it
see
might
is
be
Ray
your dead
Romano with one of
grandmother
those.
coming back to bless you.
I just see Ray Romano with one of those veterinary cones around his neck. Hey,
I was thinking of.
Deborah.
I was thinking Ray stands, but
I just put the Ray in the Flash comic where he got really fat.
There are a lot of rays.
yes, there are.
So,
Alright,
how do
well,
we channel the correct ray to make them hit the road, Jack?
You got to
Come
use
on,
the
what are we
original
going to
rays.
do?
why don't you science it for a bit and see if you can actually, I don't know, make it not work?
Yeah.
Let's give Randus his space and let him do his thing.
Gonna see about that. If I can make some kind of psychic nullification ray to sink him or
Yeah.
some sort of device that would.
Reverse psychology rays.
Yes.
Maybe we have to
Convince
turn
them to
them
say
into
yes.
arrows so the elves can shoot the ships with them.
So I just make an attraction beam.
Which thought are we?
I don't know. I
An
just like
attraction
to join in.
ray. What do the crystals most want in life, and give it to them.
All right, so what's Randus trying to do?
See if I can use these crystals either as a focus or maybe just as, test subjects to see if I can develop some way to neutralize or reverse their
ship's ability to negate whatever happens when you're in the astral sea.
yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty.
Roll a natural 20.
We'll see. 13. So
Not
total
bad.
of 48.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, you figure out a way to basically counteract the effect of these particular crystals. So you can build a small device that when you hold it up to these crystals and essentially literally you have to hold the device, hold it up to the crystals, and then think friendly, helpful thoughts, and it destabilizes them and they turn off.
Okay.
Do we know the range?
It is very short range.
Very close.
Just needs
range.
to build a bigger device. That was the prototype.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need just a...
Or
You've been waiting for that one, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to do that for years.
this just might be something that needs up close. Especially if we
All right.
need to have someone powering it with positive thoughts.
If we were to take the buoy into the astral sea, would it not cause them to theoretically attack us? But they do have the range.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the maneuverability, the buoy is not great for that.
No.
What we wanted to have is maybe I don't know, a multi-pronged assault so that they can't get away from all the ships at a time or deal with all the weapons at a time, or a really good distraction.
The current line of using some sort of psychic nonsense, it presumably their maneuverability wouldn't be a big deal then if you followed that.
Sure.
If you want to destroy the ships physically, then yes, their maneuverability is something that you have to factor in. But as far as this, presumably it's going to come in some sort of beam or wave or something. So their maneuverability is not that big a deal.
Sure, we just need to have proximity.
Yeah.
I think And think happy
Or-
thoughts.
or figure out a way to amplify.
Get all the elves together and think positively.
Build a bigger device.
Bigger device. Well,
Everybody thinks happy thoughts.
Have we tried simply
Asking them to go away?
all of us working together?
Yes.
Just stand here on the beach and think happy thoughts and try to sink the ships in the ocean in front of us?
I think we were just saying get all the elves and everybody together.
I didn't say elves. I said us.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
NPCs, man, they can
at
help
the
us.
very least, we can see if that does have an
Yeah, we could try
appreciable
more.
effect.
See if more thoughts turns off the
Yeah.
crystals
We
from
can form a
longer
thought
range.
megazord.
Yes.
I call red.
I'll form the head.
I'm Green Ranger.
Silver.
No, because silver is the 6th Ranger color, and that's me.
I can
Right.
either be green or blue.
But
Okay.
Yeah, depending on which direction. Yeah.
Cute,
Yeah.
cute.
my
I
my
hate
character
you.
is green.
Yeah, but I
Yes.
think you're our Black Ranger. Because you always wear the black cloak.
Oh, that's fair.
And if I'm really a ranger color, it's blue.
That's
Yeah.
also
Oh, you're
true.
a blue for sure.
You're a nerd.
All right.
Blue Rangers
so-
aren't always nerds. Some of them are just Scottish. I mean,
Nerd.
The current line of thought is to try and get lots of positive thoughts on one end.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna see
Yes.
if that actually amplifies at all. If we all sit here and think happy thoughts.
possibly,
How
yes.
how are you going to or how does Randus go about testing that model?
Well, could I start attaching some electrodes to people's temples and wiring them into what I got set up so far?
why not?
It makes it
I
a
mean,
lot
sure.
harder to think happy thoughts when you're having science done to you.
Is it?
All right. So who all are you hooking up to this?
Boy.
Everyone here? Except me, because I'll be measuring the result.
By everyone here, do you mean the party?
The
Or
party.
do you
Yes.
mean- okay.
Yeah.
Do you mean Stabums?
Are you including Stabums?
No, I think I'll leave
I
him
wanna
out
know
of this
Stabham's
particular
happiest thoughts.
experiment.
Yeah,
Okay.
can't
I
stab them. Have
stabbed
happy
it, and I
thoughts.
stabbed it.
I'm sure. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave him out for now. We can see his.
How's he supposed to have happy thoughts later if we're just going to leave him out of
I
it now?
know.
Well, right
I
now
thought
we'll
we
test
were
it with Team
friends.
Pointy Ears and Team Pointy Face. Hashtag Pointy Face.
No.
And we can all think our happy thoughts.
Still not happening.
I've seen it on the interwebs.
Yeah,
I've seen
right.
lots of stuff on the internet that isn't happening.
All right. So Randus is hooking everybody up,
Yes.
loading in a crystal,
Yep.
Mhm.
and I mean, what does Randus say or do or whatever?
All right. Everyone, think happy thoughts. Think of the joy of furthering scientific knowledge.
That's
Man,
your
you're
happy
real bad
thought,
at this
buddy.
whole inspiration thing.
Shakar thinks of
So-
a Mary.
So already, like Randus is seeing some results just from everybody, like listening to him and having this conversation. He sees that the crystal is in fact reacting to them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
How is it reacting?
It's kind of burning itself out.
Oh no.
That's what we want, though,
You expect that if you can actually get an actual, like, basically, if you can kind of sync up everybody's thoughts to be thinking about the same thing and having a similar emotional response, you should be able to basically blow out one of these crystals or maybe a couple of them put in at once and actually create a strong enough pulse to destabilize the crystals on the beach.
Ooh, interesting.
Sweet. Let's Care stare these gifts.
Do it.
But everybody has to be on the same page.
Hmm.
So
We can do
follow
this.
along with me. I'd like to buy the world of Coke.
No.
Keep it company.
I will have that stuck in my head for days. If you
Exactly. That's the whole point. We're supposed to sync up.
Oh, boy.
You do not want to sync up with my brain right now, Schleicher.
Do we need to be thinking the same thought or just trying to experience the same emotion?
Put
So,
a little love in your
These
heart.
things are combative, right? So you need to be uncombative. You need to be basically friendly or like welcoming. So
hanging out with
it wouldn't
Norm.
necessarily have to be the same thought, but it has to be the same general feeling. The problem is if it's not the same thought, you start very likely drifting away, or it's like the closer it is, the more this like frankly completely jury-rigged piece of nonsense machinery is.
It will work.
It's no way to talk about Randus.
I think that's exactly the way to talk about Randus.
Yeah.
Jury-rigged
that's fair.
nonsense
I
is
mean, you're not
Randus's
wrong.
middle name. Literally, it's on his birth certificate.
So everybody has to be as much on the same page as possible.
I think
All
we
right.
can do this.
What's something we can all agree on? Can we all just like think of the mission?
Warm sunshine.
Can't even
Yeah,
agree
I
on
don't
what
know
to
that
agree on.
Sakar likes warm sunshine.
It's not my favorite.
How about not dying? The joy of not dying.
Not sure if that's specific enough.
Yeah,
Joy of
exactly.
Being alive.
Making fun of our compatriots.
That is a joy I think we all share.
But it's combative.
Yes,
combative.
it's true.
Remember
think
what
unifying thoughts.
Lileron was saying about the people we've lost, and how they may not be entirely lost to us if we remember their stories. What if we focus on the friends that we've lost and all the positive things that we remember about them? We've all lost someone.
Would that work even though it would be thinking about different people?
I think it might work. I mean, we wouldn't be thinking about the same person, but we'd be thinking the same positive thoughts, positive energies to those who are gone from us. I mean, it makes as much sense as anything else. I mean, I just spent 5 minutes arguing with a rock.
That makes sense to you, Randus?
I suppose.
Well, we can try it.
Yeah, we can try.
Sure. It should be easy for Master Rivendorn and Hazard. I mean, they have one loss in common. Possibly even more.
Who?
The gentleman with the pointy head.
So what's the plan?
I guess we're supposed to be thinking about good things about people we've lost.
Positive thoughts for those who are gone, who are no longer with us.
So praying.
If you call it that.
Yeah, I don't really do that, but I'll think about the people I miss.
Nor do I, but
Yeah.
I think it should work.
All right. So what's the actual plan here?
Well, then we should also try to let the elves know when we're doing this so that if hopefully once their boats are shorted out, they can rain fire down on them.
I mean, they wouldn't have to because the boats would just sink and then they'd all be dead
Yeah,
anyway.
but they might not all sink simultaneously or they might sink slowly. We wanted to seize the advantage as much as possible.
There's a chance
may
that
not
all
be a
we're going to do
permanent
is slow
effect.
them down.
Exactly.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
Explain it, Randus.
Okay, so we managed to scavenge these psychic crystals from the attacker's ship, and we can overload them and send out a destructive burst that would disable the crystals on their ships, sinking those ships. If we can get enough of us all together thinking simultaneously the same happy thoughts. So what we've decided to try is to ask for everyone to, once I get us all hooked up here, to think about loved ones you have known and lost, and remember the good things that they have done for you in your life, and how they are still a part of your life and remembered and loved. And together we can see if we can stop the invaders.
The elves all kind of look at each other, a little confused. And later on is like, all right, everybody line up. And they start kind of lining up.
All right, I start wiring people up in a big circle.
Okay.
Parallel or series?
You
guess we probably
probably
wanna
want
go
everything to go
parallel.
direct to the machine.
Yeah.
So series.
Mm.
You don't want one bulb to blow out and make your whole Christmas tree go dark. So
That is a series.
So, yeah, I'll wire them up parallel and all into the crystal.
Okay. And I'm guessing
And-
the party as well.
Yes. Everybody, including myself. And when we're all hooked up, again, and I let them know, all right, think about loved ones, who memories you still have, and how they have benefited your life, and think fond memories of them.
Okay. Is Randus hooking himself up?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna get every bit of ampage possible.
Yes.
average brain power.
Leave no emotional resonance on the table.
Yeah. Okay, so who does Orem think about?
Orem thinks about his sister and how much she means to him and all the positive things that they share and all of the good times that they've had watching out for each other as they were growing up.
Okay. And who does Ket think about?
His grandmother and his siblings, and the thought that he will get to see them again.
Okay. And who does the car think about?
And Mary and Gibkin and poor dead Frog. And God help me, my mother, in her infuriating splendor.
And who does Little Sparkle think about?
Big Teach, and her father, and Techiatl trying to make things up to her.
Okay. And who does Randus think about?
Oh, Randus thinks about his parents and his cousins, and how they're awfully supportive, and just how no matter how weird a situation, being around them feels home. Doesn't matter if we're in a caravan or running a kingdom. Also think about Smith and how, in a way, he's also was
Oh, it's working! It's working!
family and kind of in a brotherly way, and never had a brother to experience a sibling rivalry, and he
Aww.
kind of had that.
Yeah. All right. So you all think those thoughts, and it feels nice. What doesn't feel nice is being knocked on your butt by a psychic wave that explodes out of this thing. So everyone in the fort is just kind of knocked down, and the shockwave flies off.
Oh, I feel like we're going to be feeling that headache in the morning.
In
Oh,
the morning, I'm feeling it right now.
But did it work?
Yeah.
yes. Let's stagger to our feet and go.
Scar
Look out at the
asking
beach.
important question.
Yes.
You guys scramble to the wall and see that, in fact, the Gith ships are sinking and bursting into flame, and their passengers are far enough away that you do not see any like small parachutes open.
Good.
Nice.
You're pretty sure everybody is getting frapped, except for one ship that apparently was far enough away from the blast. You see it like whip around and take off. It's in the
Fair.
opposite direction.
That's the
Like-
smart captain.
Yeah, well, that's the captain that's going to get to go report back.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Don't mess with us, right?
Hopefully.
Sure. That's the message.
Hopefully they just don't come back double down, but
We just destroyed half their armada with our brains.
We've been defeated by Captain Emotion and the Emotioneers.
By
Heart is the
your
strongest
planets
power.
combined.
any which way, we should probably let the elves know to take a rest and
Yeah.
regroup and,
We should head back to base.
yes.
Yeah, Randus,
Shall
you want
we
to
try-
send a message out to
contacting the ship
Yeah.
again.
That
try
we'll wanna
contacting
pick up.
Sarsa and see if she wants to come get us?
Dear Sarza, formed Captain Planet killed some Gith. Come pick us up from school, please.
Yeah,
Is that 25 words?
something like that. Mission
I think that'll
successful.
work.
Blockade destroyed.
Ready for pickup.
Are we ready?
Extraction
Like,
needed.
yeah, we'll
we
have
just
to-
need to take the buoy out, and
yeah,
we'll
if
be
the
good.
buoy's
Yeah.
ready to go, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I will basically try to send her that.
Okay.
Oh, not a nat one, so...
Hey, anything better than a nat 1 is a win.
Okay.
When you have a plus 35, really, I mean,
Yeah, that's
really
what you
all
said the
need.
last two times you tried to do Cinder.
be nice. It's not like you haven't frapped up some
Oh,
stuff
no, I'm not
once or
saying.
twice.
Oh, yeah, and I should...
Yeah, but no one wraps things up quite as spectacularly as Brian does.
Sure, but that's part of his charm.
It's a talent. That's for
Yep.
sure.
So I send a message asking for pickup.
Okay. You get that back.
Hard to port. Oh, no. I think they might be under attack or something.
I think our blast wave hit them too.
So she said rendezvous where we left, but then she yelled hard to port. So something.
Maybe she just wants them to come around and get us.
All right, should we go out on the buoy and see what's happening? Or
I think so.
okay,
Sure.
Yes.
we should head out.
Thank you very much for everything,
Yes, the hospitality, the
Lilian?
rations, yes.
Lileron.
Thank you. We would not have been able to do this without you. I'm not entirely sure what this was, but it was very helpful.
Yeah,
If it-
I often don't really know what this is.
If it helps, neither do we, but it worked.
We will always be thankful to you for this, and I hope that we run into each other again.
I hope
Yeah,
so as
yeah.
well.
You as well.
Good luck.
You too.
All right.
You guys drag the buoy to the beach.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Turn it on. It's definitely seen better days, but it's functional.
Good, good, good.
Oh boy.
Kind of drifting out sideways.
Yep.
Well,
Is there a sideways?
it's kind of circular, isn't it? Yeah. so-
Apparently there is, and it's drifting that way.
Cool.
Oh, great.
Cool. That's encouraging.
Like like a spinning top.
Yes.
It'll like just spin in place if it's thrown the right way. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like an eccentric spinning top, where it will like basically wobble back and forth.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what the buoy is doing. So in order to go straight, you have to like basically serpentine your way around.
Great.
Serpentine.
If any of you get seasick, this is not happy times.
Mm.
Yeah, Little Sparkle is not thrilled.
And then you guys head out towards the Dawn's Arena's last known position.
All right.
We will end it there to see what happens to the Dawn Serena, to see if it's still there or if
Mm.
we
Blew
inadvertently
it
may have caused problems. Anyway, thank you again so much, everybody. We appreciate every single one of you who are listening right now, wherever you may be around the world or in the past or in the future. And we're hoping that the next time that you sit down at the table, all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.